If you were given up for adoption pretty much anywhere in the world, and if at any point in your life you decide you want to search for anything regarding you or your biological beginnings, there are privacy laws you need to deal with. If at any point you decide you want to search for something a little bit more personal, like, I don't know, like who your mother is, for example, meaning identifying information, that's a whole other story. I mean, then you got to kind of become like your own private investigator. Like, you need to seriously be a seeker. Like you need to strap your time machine on. Rock WILK is an artist and a human and an activist and, you know, somebody who's just kind of open to all the experiences that I'm encountering as I work on this project now, but, you know, anything else in my life too. Born in the Bronx, and then I lived in a place called Spring Valley up in Rockland County for a long time. And then I came back. I spent most of the years of my life, I lived on 95th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. My story is unique simply because it's my story. I think everybody's story is unique, but at the same time, what I'm really proud of is that it's evolved. You know, the story that I wrote all about me has absolutely become everybody's story. At the point you decide you want to search for something a little bit more personal, like, I don't know, like who your mother is, for example, meaning identifying information, that's a whole other story. I mean, the concept came up 6 years ago. My mother had passed a little bit before that, my marriage had split up, and I was in a pretty dark place. And a friend of mine who was a mentor and kind of a second father to me, really, who's 97 years old, told me that he thought that I should tell my story. And he encouraged me to do an album, because I'm a musician too. And I started to do Rock WILK, and he encouraged me to do it, and I did an album, and it was very personal and very kind of visceral work, and then it evolved into a play. I met Rain doing a film. We did a film called Jamesy Boy down in Baltimore, and we became friends immediately. We just kind of struck up a friendship, and then she donated to my 500 Names campaign, which was a fundraiser I was doing to get into this theater. And then she approached me. I actually first showed her the play when she came to New York one time, because she has a show running pretty close to here. And she knew I needed help with the project, and then she told me she wanted to be the main producer. So what was beautiful about it is she said, but I want it to be 500 Names and Rain Pryor present Rock WILK, because she's part of the 500 Names. Yeah, but all kinds of support, you know, financial support. She's put up a lot of money. She's brought name recognition, which was her thing. She's like, look, I can help you. I'm Rain Pryor. I'm Richard Pryor's daughter. And a very, very solid, you know, she's a producer. She's the artistic director of the Strand Theater down in Baltimore. She's a theater person. She knows how to run this whole thing. So she kind of came in here and took all of this. You need to seriously be a seeker. Like you need to strap your time machine on. And so anyway, I've been coming here. The main branch of the New York City Public Library of 5th Avenue and 42nd Street, Manhattan, every day for the past year and a half, trying to match the number of my birth certificate with the number I record, the city of New York, in one of these books. Describe it as a very, very high energy play with music and poetry, but mostly monologue. It's pretty much a play. It is a play. It's certainly not your conventional solo piece. It's a pretty big production in terms of how I present it, how I perform it, but it's also very raw and very intimate, and you know, it's almost like performing a symphony for me. Like, it never stops. It's really fast. It's really just really personal, you know, kind of very connecting with the audience. It's almost like a shared experience, you know, that's how I look at it, like this beautiful shared experience with the audience. And so it's very engaging for me and for the audience.